Hello, everybody. Welcome to Learn English with Football Live. This is another episode of this YouTube live show about football, which also is a bit of an English lesson. It's a combination of a football show, a review of the Premier League, usually. However, I didn't finish my point. Combination of the review of the Premier League, a football show, a football chat show, as well as an English lesson because I do end up explaining vocabulary and grammar and occasionally pronunciation to do with football. That is the idea. However, this weekend there were no Premier League games. That's because we have what's called the interlull. I wonder if you guys have heard this word before. Interlull. It's interesting that I tried to check the word and it doesn't. That was my phone. Sorry about that. I've tried to check the word. It doesn't come up with. It doesn't come up in too many searches. So it's definitely in the Urban Dictionary. I think it might be a slang word, and it pretty much means the international break. So that's when the Premier League takes a break, takes a rest, and the international matches are played instead because we need to play a lot of World Cup qualifiers at the moment, and as well as that, we've got the. I always forget what it is called. Is it National League? I think it's a new competition. I think it's called National League, right? In Europe, here in Europe, which has kind of replaced international friendlies. So that happened as well, and we had the semifinals and the finals of that, and the winner of the it's not National League. It's called UEFA Nations League, UEFA Nations League, and actually France won it. So France are the champions of the UEFA Nations League, which there are a lot of people still skeptical about, but it is a trophy, nevertheless. France beat, France beat Spain in the final 2-1. That was a bit of a controversy surrounding the goal scored by, was it? I can't remember. Was it Neymar? Wait, hang on. Neymar is Brazilian. That's nonsense. Mbappe. Sorry, these two players remind me of each other a little bit. Mbappe, I think, scored the goal, and then some people thought it was an offside, but there was like little deflection, basically, of the defending player. Even though Neymar was in an offside position, it wasn't ruled offside. They allowed the goal because the defending player basically deflected it a little bit. So, and apparently he wanted to play the ball. So that's why this was not an offside. I don't know, honestly. I saw the highlights, but I'm not sure myself what the rule is anymore. And anyway, so this happened. Personally, I have watched one game. I've watched one game. My game of my national team, which is the Czech Republic against Wales. It was a home match for us. Unfortunately, we only drew it, and actually, we were happy to take the point because the Welsh were the better team, which was rather disappointing. But it happened. Tonight we are playing Belarus, the Czech Republic. I don't know how much you're interested in this, but the thing is, like, I'm waiting for my guest, who should be in Rup tonight. I might have to check the phone. You know, remember those messages that I received, and I threw the phone behind me. That's probably Nrup telling me that he won't be able to make it tonight. I hope I'm wrong, but I need to check it now. Yeah, so give me a second. Okay, let's see. Let's see what's going to happen. Yeah, are we going to have Nrup tonight or not? Noop has got an update, unfortunately, on his laptop. So you know what can happen with those things sometimes, Microsoft Windows and whatnot. We've got some viewers watching this live. Moking, hi Moking, good to have you here. We also have Nina, who is telling me what the name of the of the football competition is. Thank you for that. Have you seen Benzema's goal? It was so amazing. By the way, Mocking, let me help you there a little bit. It was such an amazing goal. You can say the goal was amazing. Yeah. So we use the goal was so amazing. So we use so with an adjective without a noun. But if you have a noun like that, you have to say such an amazing goal. Yeah. Um, and I didn't see it. To answer your question, I didn't see it. I have. Okay, hang on a minute. I might have seen it. I can't remember because for me this game was not important at all. I wasn't really invested in it. I wasn't really interested in the Nations League. I don't know. It feels like a bit of unnecessary competition, doesn't it? I think it's like they're trying to milk the cow, you know, with the UFA, because they're gonna get more money from these competitive matches than from friendlies. That's why they did it ultimately. I've heard that some players, was it Thibaut Courtois from Belgium? I heard that he had complained about this, that they are playing too many matches and it shouldn't be happening like that, because I think a lot of players just seem tired because of, I think it all started with the COVID situation and disrupted the balance, and then um, basically because of that, the Euros had to be postponed, right? So it started kind of late, um, and then the league competitions followed soon after that, and pretty much some players had no time to rest. And if you have ever played football, very well that you do need that rest, and especially at this professional level, like everybody needs it, right? You can't just keep training and playing games. You will eventually get tired. Your body needs to take a break. Yeah. um yeah, they are trying to milk it. They're trying to milk it dry. That's what they do. And this is exactly what I wanted to talk about today. Today's episode of the show is supposed to be shorter, relatively shorter compared to the previous ones. And that's because I want to watch that Czech Republic Belarus game. Actually, it's Belarus Czech Republic. However, it's happening in Russia. I don't know what the reason for that is, but so it's on the neutral ground rather than in Belarus. Um, Anyway, we have Dziavor here. Hello, Dziavor. Dziavor, remind me where you're from. Are you from Russia or are Ukraine, or I can't remember. Dziavor. I bet you are from Ukraine, right? Let me know. Let me know in the comments where you're from. And Moking, could you remind us where you are from? Ah, you are from Saudi Arabia, aren't you? You are from Saudi Arabia, Moking. I've talked to you before in the Discord server that I had that I run, the Learn English Online Discord server. Wow. Okay. Well, today I want to talk about the Newcastle United takeover. I want to talk about that. So I don't know. This might be slightly controversial here because I am not sure we are going to see eye to eye with this, Moking, but hopefully we will also have Noop. So hopefully we will talk about this in a respectful way. There are some controversies surrounding the takeover bid from the European point of view, but I know for Saudi Arabia this must be a big moment, obviously, because I don't know if I want to go into it, but basically what has happened is it's a seismic event. Have you heard this word before, guys? Seismic event. I misspelled it. Oh no. Wait. Did I? Yeah. No, I haven't shown it on screen, fortunately. I just want to check the spelling of the word seismic. Seismic. Yeah, it's pronounced seismic, and it means it's an event that kind of shakes up the ground. It comes from the earthquake terminology, right? So I think this takeover by Saudis is a massive, massive event in football, and not everybody thinks it's a good thing. Yeah. Yeah. So that is a question by Diabor. Does big money spoil football nowadays? And this is exactly what I wanted to talk about. I was hoping I wouldn't be alone for this. Basically, there is a lot to talk about, but let me just tell you what happened here. Some of you may not be aware of this, or perhaps don't know the details. Yeah. So the Premier League club, Newcastle United. It's a club with a long tradition. By the way, they are nicknamed as the Magpies. You know, the birds, magpies, those that always steal from other birds, the magpies. And they have the traditional black and white striped shirts, right? Hope I'm not wrong about that. Let me just check it, but I think so. I think that's their jersey. It's black and white, isn't it? Let me just check some images online just to be sure. Yes, black and white stripes, like similar to Juventus Turin, right? So this club is currently in the relegation zone. I think they are the second from the bottom or something like that. They're not doing that well, but they are a traditional club in the Premier League, that's for sure. And like I said, there has been a seismic event because now this club has new owners, a public investment fund from Saudi Arabia, which is obviously a very, very rich country. It's because they have got a lot of oil. It's one of the richest countries in the. I think is it the richest country in the world? I don't know how that is assessed, but it's definitely up there. And this fund, this public investment fund, is owned by Mohammed bin Salman. You can tell us if I'm pronouncing it correctly, Moking. Mohammed bin Salman is Saudi royal. He actually is the crown prince. He has been the Saudi crown prince since 2017. So you can imagine that this guy can't be poor, right? As a matter of fact, by this takeover, by this buyout, Newcastle United have now got the richest football owner in the world. Can you believe it? So this is, if you look at the biggest clubs in Europe, Newcastle United has never been up there, right? They have never been there. But now they are they have the richest owner. So this is going to shake things up. It's going to change the landscape, the football landscape pretty soon, I think, you know. Basically, I honestly, I don't know. I can't even imagine this number, but this public investment club fund has assets of around 320 billion pounds. I honestly cannot imagine that. Like, I can't possibly comprehend what it is. Like, I don't know. It's just a number for me. But I have checked. There is a website where they are showing the richest club owners, and now it's this Saudi Arabia Public Investment Fund, 320 billions. And then the second one is Qatar Investment Authority. They own Paris Saint-Germain, the biggest French club, and they have 220 billions. So it's 100 billions 100 billions less, which seems significant, but not that much. Because the third one, Manchester City, they have 10 times less. Or the Sheikh Mansour, the owner, the Manchester City owner, Sheikh Mansour, it's 21 only. Can you believe it? So the only one that can really measure up with the in terms of the finances with the Saudi Arabia Public Investment Fund is Qatar Investment Authority in Paris Saint-Germain, because then in third place Sheikh Mansour, only 21 billions. That's, I mean, it's not good enough, is it? and then well, I'm an Arsenal supporter. Okay, we could mention Roman Abramovich as well in the sixth place with 10.5 billions, and then Stan Kroenke of Arsenal 6.8 billions. That's interesting for me because I support Arsenal. So there you go, listener, viewers. It is kind of mad, actually, how rich these people are. Ziavor is suggesting that this oligarch will take over Sparta Prague. I don't know about that. I'm not sure it's a good investment, Ziavor. We don't even have enough fans going to the stadiums. No, I don't think so. I don't think Sparta Prague will have such an owner anytime soon. And there's a good point by Moking that they need 5 years to build a team like Man City. You know, it takes time. That's right, because they have to buy new players, and it will take time. Also, the players have to kind of what's the word? Gel. They have to gel, right? So to gel, it's a good verb to use. It's like to work together well, right? It will take some time before they get to know each other, and basically you can't just create a club out of nothing by just buying the best players and expect great results, because you need a system, you need a manager, you need it to work, right? You need to put all the pieces together. It's like a puzzle, and it will take, I agree with Moking here, it will take time for Newcastle to get any good. Right. Actually, this owner, this Mohammed bin Salman, and the public investment fund, they tried to take over this club, Newcastle United, earlier this year, I think in April, but there were some issues with Qatar, with TV from Qatar, as far as I know, because Saudis banned them for 4 and 5 years. I don't understand it, honestly, but because of that, they had to delay this takeover, basically. But now there's something I need to really talk about. This takeover is sparking a lot of controversy. It's fueling outrage, even. I could describe it like that. Why? Well, because, and I'm sorry to Moking, but we here in this part of the world, we don't really approve of the Saudi regime and the way they do things there. To be specific, because this would be unfair if I just said it like that. For example, when it comes to gay rights, because in Saudi Arabia, gays are criminalized, which is absolutely unacceptable here. They might have hard time, yes, they might get bullied. It happens, unfortunately, here, but they are not criminalized in this country, in this part of the world, especially not in the UK, which is one of the most liberal countries, I would say, right? So this is very controversial, I know, because in different parts of the world, this is looked at differently. I'm not sure I should be even talking about this here, but I think why not mention it? Yeah. Also, there's a question whether women have equal rights. I know recently they have been relaxing the laws in Saudi Arabia, and for example, they now women in Saudi Arabia are now allowed to drive cars, for instance. Yeah, so that's definitely a good thing. But there is also another controversial thing surrounding the crown prince. Now, I hope I'm not getting this wrong, but I believe he had a journalist killed. He gave an order to kill a journalist who was, I think, writing against the against the royal family or some. I don't know the details, but I know this happened. Although the crown prince is denying it, so who knows what happened there? But there are strong allegations there. Yeah. So so those things aside, also, is this really fair? Is this going to make it a fair competition now? Because they are so rich. It's immoral. It's almost like unfair, isn't it? Like, how can the other clubs compete now? What's going to happen if you are so rich? You can afford to buy anything because money talks. Like, with money, you can do anything in football. That's why, I'm sorry, but that's why Qatar got the World Cup. There is just no way they would get the World Cup, because the World Cup next year in 2022 is happening in Qatar, which is, by the way, a place where Nurup used to live. Nurup, who is still not here because he's updating his computer. Maybe next time we will see what happens. But we have a World Cup in Qatar, which is a small country. And the only reason they got it is because they are so rich. They just bought. There was just corruption when they were selecting. Absolutely, there was corruption. You will not convince me otherwise. There was definitely corruption, because how can such a small club become? How can they get? How can they get to be the host of the World Cup? In history, it has never happened to a club like that. At least, if okay, it could be a smaller club. At least if they have some kind of history of winning, or at least playing good. But have they ever been in any World Cup? No. So I'm just not too happy about this. Uh, it's it's mad. So money talks, yeah, and you could argue that we already have big owners in football, like in Man City specifically, and Paris Saint-Germain and Chelsea. And it was already unfair when these people came along. Now, this is the problem. This is like a moral dilemma, yeah? Because those are football fans of these big clubs like Chelsea, Paris Saint-Germain, City. Those are like the best clubs these days, but because of the money they have. They should really now shut up. They should not. They don't have any right to say anything. They don't have any right to speak against these new owners in Newcastle United. You could argue that the same goes for Arsenal, because Stan Kroenke is a rich owner, obviously. The thing is, he doesn't want to spend. That's another issue, yeah. But what do you do? What do you do about this? There's nothing you can do, yeah. And but I don't know. I don't know, guys. It's going to be a big problematic, because, by the way, we have a word in English, powerhouse, yeah, a powerhouse. So basically, Newcastle United are to become another powerhouse in football. Yeah, powerhouse. It's some kind of an organization or a person with a lot of influence, power, energy, all those things. So they are about to become a new powerhouse. It's how it is. Sometimes you have got big what's the word for it? Like big names or people with big influence, and then they don't want more people to join them, right? So this is the top six in the Premier League, they actually apparently they tried to stop this. I think it was reported in Daily Mail, which is a tabloid in the UK that I don't really trust. But I wouldn't be surprised, honestly, with this one, because if you are top six, and these teams try earlier. Was it this year or was it last year? I can't remember, but not long ago they tried to create the so-called Super League. So they don't want this to happen. I'm sure they don't like this at all. But it looks like it is happening. Newcastle United have got a new owner, very rich owner, and it's going to really change things a lot, in my opinion. There will be massive implications, massive consequences of that. I think, first of all, Newcastle United will become another hated club, like neutral fans. When you say neutrals, by the way, it's a good word. Neutrals. We are referring to the neutral fans, right? The fans that don't support any club, or they support a club from a lower division, so they don't have any, anyone they would sort of cheer for. So we call them neutral. So then, and now I forgot what my original point was. The neutrals are going to hate the Newcastle United, just like they hate Man City or Chelsea because of the rich owners. It's just the way it is. Neutrals usually they would support the underdogs, like Leicester City or someone like that, So that's going to happen. Then Newcastle United are going to buy out the most expensive players, right? For them, it doesn't really matter how much the player will cost. With that kind of money, they won't really care. Like, it's all about whether the player wants to play in Newcastle, because it's a cold place actually in Newcastle. So some players might not be married to the idea, which is a nice phrase, to be married to the idea. I've recently heard it somewhere. Some players, even when offered a lot of money, might not be married to the idea of going to play for Newcastle because of the climate there. It's quite cold. If you are not married to the idea, it's very simple. You can guess it from context. You just you don't like it too much. Yeah, it's not for you. Yeah. Moking. Yeah, I don't hate. It's more like we are all football fans. Yeah, so it's quite tribal in that, right? We are tribal, and I think it's a natural thing to do. Like, if you are not invested in a country's success, you always cheer for the underdogs. A good underdog story is always fun. Yeah, so if there is a team that nobody expects to win, and they play against a club that that's powerful, that has a lot of good players and is very rich, you always want that smaller club to win. It's just a natural thing. I don't know what it is, but it's always like that. So what's going to happen now? So we have top 4. Now we're going to have top 5, because I think top 6 no longer exists, because Arsenal, unfortunately, and Tottenham, they're just much worse than the top 4 in the recent years. They have been much worse. So now what's going to happen? Newcastle United, another big club. I have to look at it from another angle, though, because I need to be really fair about this. If you are a Newcastle fan, yeah, and I do have one friend. Her name is Neve. I tried to get her on the podcast, but she couldn't make it. That's unfortunate. She commented when I posted when I made a post on my social media about this takeover. this friend of mine, Neve. She's a Newcastle fan. She's a Geordie. She has a true Geordie accent, really cool accent, by the way. And well, she was happy when she heard it. She was happy, of course. Now, I think what's going to happen here, and it's another expression I'm going to teach you now, is there will be a lot of cognitive dissonance. Cognitive dissonance. Have you ever heard this before? Dissonance. I believe it's spelled like this. Please forgive me if I'm misspelling it, but I don't think I am. Cognitive dissonance. Oh my God, how do I explain this? When you have two feelings at the same time, which are kind of contradictory. So on the one hand, you're very happy that your club are finally going to be rich and finally they will afford to buy players. Like for Newcastle, this is crucial because they haven't won anything major since like the 50s last century. So there are not many, I don't think there are any people alive that remember that, to be honest. So that long they have been waiting for success. So for those fans, they would take it all day long, you know. But then they might be aware of these controversies and just the human rights that are suppressed in Saudi Arabia. But still, they might say to themselves, well, what can we do? That this is the world these days. We have to, you know, you either eat or you're eaten, right? That's the way it works these days. It's like the survivor of the fittest. But I thought about this, and imagine you are gay and you are a Newcastle fan. Yeah? How do you feel about this? How do you feel if you are a lesbian or I don't know, transgender? How do you feel about this? How does it make you feel? I wonder. You know, it must be really cognitive dissonance. I don't know. It's a bit problematic, but I do understand my Geordie friend. Sorry, I do understand my friend, like that she, you know, she will take it. She will take. Of course, she will take it. Would I take it? I wanted to ask Noop if he would take it in Arsenal if we suddenly had Saudi owners like that. Probably, you know, probably. But would I feel the same about my club as I do now? I don't know. The thing is, like, you get used to it, right? And then you don't question it. It's just the way it is, you know. Like Manchester City were nothing. They were nothing. They were just a average club. And then when the rich owners came along, everything has changed. You know, now they are winning the league. They are just one of the best teams in the world now because they can afford to pay the wages to Guardiola, their manager. They can get players like Aguero and Silva and De Bruyne. And, you know, like if you are a small club or an average club, you can't afford that. You just can't. You can't compete. And you know what's going to happen to the market now? It's going to be crazy because I feel like there will be big money thrown around, like big money spent. That's what I meant. Big money spent. What's the expression when you throw around? Yeah, throw it. Newcastle, they will be throwing around a lot of money just to buy these players. They will have to convince them to come to Newcastle. It might be easier to convince someone to come to team like Manchester United or Liverpool because they have a long tradition. They already have good players, but for Newcastle, they're kind of starting from scratch, right? So what's going to happen is that they will be overpaying the players. You know, they will be paying more than is expected, and then that will inflate the market. I'm not sure if I'm using the right economic term, but it's going to like sort of modify the market in a way that the prices of big players, of world-class players, will go up, in my opinion, of all players like that. So, for example, someone like Harry Kane might end up in Newcastle, which would be really weird, but we might have to get used to it in a few years. So yeah. Okay, so I don't know what else to say there. I wanted to ask some questions. Um, I wanted to ask Noop some questions, but I don't think he's going to make it tonight, and I have to end this soon. So hopefully it's been all right, even though I have talked by myself here. I'm just looking at some of the notes I've made here and sort of pondering about this myself. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this. Probably as an Arsenal fan, I'm not very happy about this, to be honest with you, because we're going to have another competitor, and it looks like our team is not competitive enough. Our owners, oh, yes, they did spend big, but we've decided to take a different route. We are buying young players and trying to do what's called the project. Yeah, we are doing the project, which I guess is all right, but it will take time before we are any good again. And now Newcastle being around, Newcastle being a rich club, being able to afford even our players, just to, steal them from us. I don't like the idea. I don't like it at all. I don't like how football works these days. It's too much about money. I love it. I can't help watching the Premier League. I watch these players. I admire them, but it's just the amount of money they are paid, and just the way it works, the system, the way it works. Like, if you don't have money, you can't do anything, right? It just sucks. Like, there are some stories, like um, fairy tale stories, like Leicester City, for example. Yeah, for example, like their budget is definitely much lower than the budget of the likes of Man City or Chelsea, but yet they still managed to win the league. But that was um what's the word I'm looking for? Miracle. That was like a miracle, wasn't it? Do you guys know the word miracle? Miracle. It's like I think it must come from religion. This word. Yeah, when somebody um uh, rises from death or something, when it's just something that no one would ever expect to happen, is just like you would almost say that there were some supernatural powers involved in that. So it's like a miracle that Leicester City managed to win the league, and now they won um the they won the. I'm just laughing because I can see Xavier's comment, but let me finish my point. Leicester City won the FA Cup as well. It's just incredible. Xavier says that Harry Kane speaks. By the way, not speak, speaks. Yeah, it's he, so it must be speaks. Brilliant English. That's a Xavier. He's being sarcastic. Yeah, that's a joke, because if you watch some interviews with Harry Kane, he is kind of mumbling and it's difficult to understand him. I do enjoy listening to Harry Kane, though. It's kind of funny. Also, there are some stand-up comedians or impersonators who make fun of his English, and it's not like he can't speak English. He can, but it's just special. Yeah. All right. Resurrection. What did I say, Adam? I can't remember. By the way, good to see you here, Adam. I'm about to finish. What did I say? By the way, resurrection, I believe, is spelled with double R. I think you're giving me an example of a miracle, aren't you? Yeah. Resurrection is spelled with double R, Adam. Yeah. Yeah. No, that's an example of a miracle for sure. A resurrection. So I'm not sure how I feel about this. Not very happy, to be honest with you. I don't know what mocking thinks now. I hope mocking you won't. You will not stop. Now you will not stop watching this YouTube channel and this show after what I've said here. It's just I'm just being honest with you, mate. This is the way I see it. I see it like this as an Arsenal fan. I see it like this as a European person. I'm from Europe. Um, Not very happy about it. I'm telling you, it just seems unfair, and there are some controversies. I don't know. It's like it feels like we are supporting this kind of regime, in an indirect way, and we are okay with the fact that these rich owners who suppress what's the word, suppress human rights, yeah, are going to be such a big player in the Premier League and are going to pull the strings. Yeah, I don't like this, but at the same time, I have to acknowledge that this is the world we live in, and also if I'm a Newcastle fan, I'm happy, right? Because finally I can actually compete with the likes of Chelsea, Man City, Man U. Like, how do you feel if you're one of those smaller clubs in the Premier League? It's like it feels like no matter what you do, you will never afford the best players. They will never want to play for your club because you don't give them enough money, and because well, it's like a vicious circle. You don't have good players, so they won't be motivated by that either. So if you are a Newcastle fan, you are happy. So I have to. Mocking says this is life, man. I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure I'm happy with such life. Mocking. But I see the point you're coming from. I see the point you're coming from. But you know, I've also heard that actually this might help. Like this happening, this investment of Saudi Arabia crown prince might actually help the let me just find it. I've made a note about this. I just need to find it. Like, give me 1 second. Okay. Yeah, there was an article on BBC site that the Saudi Arabia-backed takeover of Newcastle United may help to improve the LGBTQ rights in the kingdom. So, I think they mean in the Saudi Arabia kingdom. A fans group hopes United will pride them. Sorry, what? United will pride. Sorry, I can't read. United with pride accepted the state was one of the least tolerant in the world over equality, but said the deal could have a positive influence. Well, we will see about that. But that would be a good thing. Yeah, that would be a good thing. But we will see what happens. We will see what happens, and yeah, that's all from me. Unfortunately, there was no guest today. Thank you very much for whoever is watching this. I can see right now 5 people are watching the stream, which is nice. Thank you very much. If you could give me a like, even if you disagree with me, it would help the channel very much. If you like this stream, it might help other people see it. I'm not an expert. I'm not like a journalist, or I'm just a football fan like you guys are. So this is just my opinion. Yeah? I'm an English teacher. I'm an expert in that, in teaching English. But when it comes to football, I'm just a football fan like you guys watching this. So it's just an opinion of one person, So if you disagree with me, it's totally fine. So thank you very much for watching. I do appreciate you being here, and well, hopefully next time we will have some guests as well. Yeah, so don't forget, you can tune in again on Monday. This show happens every Monday at 8 p.m. Central European time, so the same time as today. Okay, guys, take care, and I'll speak to you again soon. Bye.